Illegal immigration is not only a burden on our environment and our population, but also our wallets. Especially in tough economic times, an additional financial burden is difficult to handle. The annual cost of illegal immigration is estimated at $113 billion to our nation's taxpayers. One of the things which makes this country great is how much we provide for the people who reside here. Even individuals who are here illegally benefit from our tax dollars. Expenditures like educating children, medical care, administration of justice, child care, temporary assistance to needy families, and school meal programs all end up benefiting illegal aliens. A proposal to allow illegal aliens permanent access to U.S. jobs makes no sense when you recognize that this would keep many current U.S. citizens from getting jobs. Everyone. Households headed by illegal aliens imposed more than $28.8 billion in costs on the federal government in 2009 and paid only $9.5 billion in taxes. This created an annual net fiscal deficit of almost $19.3 billion.
Many analysts, some advocates, and significant portions of the U.S. population about the ability and will of the U.S. government to enforce the law at the borders and in the U.S. interior.
What this means is that the United States government now spends more on immigration enforcement than on all other principal law enforcement agencies combined. We are spending, as of fiscal year 2011, which is the most recent year for the data that we're using, that was available, that's a price tag of $18 billion. That is 24% greater than the $14.4 billion that funds the FBI, the DEA, the Secret Service, the ATF, and the U.S. Marshals Service.
Some disregard these costs and want to provide illegal immigrants legal status through an amnesty. What they don't realize is that this would perpetuate the burden of illegal migration.
Alright, so today we have an immigrant that came from Mexico and that immigrated here to America legally, and we have a few questions for her today. Do you believe that immigration could be easier, and if so, how?
Yes, I think it can be. There's just a lot of requirements that are necessary, and just the time that it takes. For example, for my family, it took about 8 to 10 years to get a visa, and then to get a green card, it took another year. And just some requirements, like the amount of money you have in the bank, the amount of sponsors you're supposed to have, and just little details like having, education, or having all these papers from your family. Like, you have to have all your shots, you have to have medical requirements. So even that's part of it. If you have some kind of medical condition, they might not accept you. And so it's just little stuff that I don't think is necessary.
And so do you think in your belief, like, would this decrease the amount of illegal immigrants that like risk their lives to come here illegally if they eased the process of getting here legally?
Yeah, it definitely would, because people come here illegally, again, because they don't have the resources, they don't have all the money on the bank, they obviously don't have an education, and they can't get a good job in Mexico, and that's why they're trying to come here. So if you're asking for education, if you're asking for money in the bank, if you're asking for all these resources, they don't have that, so they don't even try to apply. And plus, again, talking about the time that it takes, they just don't have time to wait when they have their family on the line, when their family is starving, or they have somebody in the hospital and they need the money. They can't wait 8 years for immigration to tell them it's okay to come.
And last question, like, do you ever regret the fact that you actually came here?
Not anymore. At the beginning I did, because I was young and I didn't speak any English at all, and I didn't understand why my dad brought me here. But now that I'm an adult and I'm working, I realize all the opportunities I had here that I wouldn't have had in Mexico, like being able to go to school for free with scholarships. I wouldn't be able to go to a good school, and the jobs, we don't have the same job opportunities in Mexico that we have here. And just overall, I think the education system is better here than in Mexico, and just all the opportunities you can have here that you wouldn't have there. And so I don't regret being here anymore.